If you got an hour of your time back, what would you do with that? You would be able to focus on the substantive work in your practice versus the admin. Hi, my name is Dina Cataldo. I am a master certified coach and former prosecutor, and now I help lawyers like you smooth out their process, take back their time, and get back their life. If you are frustrated that your assistant isn't doing all of the work that you think he or she should be doing, I want to offer something to you that it is up to you to create processes that are as simple as possible for them to follow. And if you're not doing that, it's because you feel so frustrated that you cannot think through the processes. It can be really easy to believe that assistants should just be able to read our minds, that they should just know, that they should understand that they need to do their job in a certain way, and that we've explained to them a million times exactly what we need them to do. The thing is we forget what it's like to be in their shoes, to be somebody who has requests given to them probably pretty frequently if you're in a law office, and that they can't remember everything. And so when we create processes that are as simple as possible, that are as step by step as possible, not only do we make their lives easier, but we make our lives easier because they are asking fewer questions. They feel more confident that they're doing their job. And when we are really taking responsibility, not only for training people and giving them the systems that make their jobs as simple as possible, we then can focus on our job. We get to have more time to do the tasks that we need to do. And in addition to that, we can use our calendar to then say, okay, remember to check in with the assistant on such and such task. We just put it in there versus us feeling like we need to do everything, because that's the default. If we don't think that we can trust them to do their job, then you're going to take all of the tasks that need to be delegated so that you can be doing your true tasks in your law practice. So let's talk about this in terms of a real life scenario. I was speaking with a client and she was doing trial prep, but she noticed she spent a ton of time on admin tasks. And that was one of the most frustrating things that she had in her practice were these admin tasks. So what she did was she just did it all herself. And instead of giving the assistant this work and then having them take care of it with the managing attorney, she was taking it all on herself. Not only was she doing the trial binder, she was doing the jury instruction, she was doing the evidence, she was doing all of these things, and she was taking on the task of reviewing all the subpoenas. So she realized that she was really frustrated with this assistant because she had told this assistant, she said a million times how to do it, and she just wasn't doing it. I asked her why she thought she wasn't doing it. She said, well, she's probably pretty overwhelmed. She's got a lot of attorneys giving her lots of tasks, and I'm just another one of them. And so I asked her, okay, what do you think would make her job as easy as possible? It's like, well, if I had a checklist, that would make my life easier. So then I could just look at the checklist. And we drew out a checklist with exactly what she wanted her assistant to do, which was one, draft the subpoenas based on the witness list, then run those addresses by the managing attorney, and then have the handling attorney review and sign those subpoenas. And then she wanted the assistant to alert my client only after they had been served. And so that took an hour of her time away. Like it gave her back an hour of her time doing that. If you got an hour of your time back, what would you do with that? You would be able to focus on the substantive work in your practice versus the admin. What I want to offer to you is that you can find a ton of different areas in your law practice right now where you could be saving yourself time. I really encourage you to listen to the systems podcast that I did. You can link to it here. It is a podcast that will help you think differently about how you run your practice, what exactly you need to get done in your practice, how to eliminate those frustrations in your practice. So go listen to that podcast and then download the guide associated with that podcast because it helps you think through the problems happening in your practice so that you can smooth them out and you can create processes just like this one, that's going to save you at least an hour in each of these cases. And then you can start really thinking through these processes and saving yourself time. So go listen to Be a Better Lawyer podcast and then come back here and tell me what you're going to do differently in your practice.